Haunted houses have long been a staple of ghost stories and Halloween celebrations, and computer games are no exception, going as far back as the 1981 release of Haunted House on the Atari 2600. Later games like Sweet Home, released for the NES in 1989, helped create a whole new genre of survival horror games, often set in haunted houses or similarly scary and claustrophobic locations. Other genres got in on the trend too, with point-and-click games, adventure games, and even platformers getting in on the action, and today we're going to take a look at 5 of the best haunted houses in retro gaming. Number 5. Seventh Guest. Seventh Guest was an early pioneer of CD-ROM technology, thanks to its extensive use of cutscenes, pre-rendered 3D graphics, and overlaid live-action video clips.
Moving from town to town, robbing a gas station here, a grocery store there, until one night.
Primarily a puzzle game, Seventh Guest manages a careful balance of atmosphere, exploration, and fun that gives the players a strong feeling of connection to its haunted house. The mansion itself is made up of around 20 different rooms, and players get to work their way through each one as they complete the game's various puzzles. The mansion contains all the rooms you'd expect from a house of its size, as well as a maze, laboratory, a chapel, and even an underground crypt. It's not a particularly scary game, but clever use of CGI and the seamless transitions between scenes were really pioneering at the time, and helped create a sense that you were actually there exploring the mansion.
Their screams, the only noise. Blood inside the library, blood right up the hall, dripping down the attic stairs.
Combined with the quirky, tongue-in-cheek acting and the stylish yet spooky design of the rooms, the Seventh Guest Mansion left a strong impression on PC gamers back in the 90s. Number 4. Super Mario World. The Super Mario games were no stranger to ghosts and other spooky goings-on, but Super Mario World was the first game to feature a fully fledged haunted house. The Boo enemies return from Super Mario Bros. 3 and retain their crafty quirk of only chasing the player when you turn your back on them. The haunted house levels work in a similar fashion to regular levels, but are more puzzle orientated, requiring the player to work through the correct sequence of pathways and doors to get to the end. While the Super Mario World haunted houses aren't particularly scary, they more than make up for this in charm and clever level design. Number 3. Alone in the Dark 2. Alone in the Dark is perhaps most famous for being the first mainstream survival horror game released in the West, a title that would be decisively snatched away from it by the Resident Evil series. Until then, however, Alone in the Dark and its sequels set the standard for 3D survival horror games, including an isometric viewpoint, tank controls, puzzle-solving gameplay elements, and an emphasis on survival rather than all-out shooting. Released on PlayStation and Saturn as Alone in the Dark, Jack is Back, Alone in the Dark 2 expands upon the setting of the first game and allows players to explore the areas surrounding the mansion, including a garden maze and even a secret pirate ship hidden in the underground caverns below the house. While the graphics would soon be surpassed by other games in the genre, the mansion and grounds are rich in atmosphere, underpinned by an intriguing story of dead pirates, evil spirits, and black magic. Number 2. Luigi's Mansion. Luigi's Mansion gets everything right when it comes to a classic haunted house. Surrounded by gravestones, ghostly blue flames and menacing looking crows, right from the start it's clear that Luigi's in for a spot of trouble as he enters the mansion.
Hello?
Unlike most Super Mario games, Luigi's Mansion is primarily a puzzle game, and the player is tasked with sucking up ghosts with the Poltergust 3000 and finding keys to unlock various doors throughout the mansion in order to progress to the next area. The mansion is very much a typical haunted house, but the bold, cartoony art design and the classic Nintendo character design blend perfectly to give Luigi's Mansion its own distinct look and feel. The animation is great, and while the game remains child-friendly when it comes to scares, the innovative gameplay and strong art style make it a joy to behold and play.
Mario! Oh yeah!
Number 1. Resident Evil.
Look, Chris!
It was Bravo Team's helicopter. Nobody was in it. But strangely, most of the equipment was still there. However, we soon discovered why.
Hey! Come here!
Joseph!
No! Don't go!
What is this?
Wow, what a mansion!
Released in 1996, it's no exaggeration to say that Resident Evil changed the face of horror gaming forever. True, the mansion in Resident Evil isn't strictly haunted, but the game provides its own spin on the haunted house genre, and certainly for the first hour or so of gameplay, the nature of the mansion and its creatures are a complete mystery. Right at the start, you are chased by vicious wolf-like creatures just outside a remote woodland in a scene that wouldn't be out of place in an American werewolf in London. From there, you run into what looks like a classic haunted house, seemingly abandoned by its former residents. As you explore the mansion, you discover zombies, mutated dogs, and even a killer plant that takes a few cues from the Little Shop of Horrors. Notes and journals scattered throughout the mansion provide the backstory, and slowly you start to piece together a story of genetic mutation and biological weaponry gone wrong. Like all the best haunted houses, there is an eerie juxtaposition between the grand sweeping hallways and antique decor and the murderous terrors that lurk within. Despite the many horrors you face within the mansion, you'd be forgiven for feeling a tinge of sadness among relief as you finally destroy the mansion at the end of the game. Resident Evil is one of the truly classic games of the horror genre. Despite the old-fashioned tank controls, both the original version and the remake are still highly playable today. The storyline, the graphics, the music, the sound design, everything comes together around the centerpiece of the mansion itself, providing a perfect blend of unsettling atmosphere, moments of shock, and terrifying jump scares. Thank you for watching.